When we think of climate change, we often think of something in the distant future, like flying cars and robots. Climate change is here, Mr. Prime Minister, and it's very real, affecting our way of life right now.
As you may have read, we're reaching record CO2 levels. Global warming is becoming a serious crisis, and we need to do something about that.
We still rely on dirty carbon-based fuels for 85% of all the energy that our world burns.
We never deal with the underlying root cause, which regrettably is what we're doing to our natural environment.
Currently, carbon is blanketing our planet, warming it to levels we haven't seen in millions of years.
Super Typhoon Haiyan went over areas of the Pacific 5.5 degrees Fahrenheit warmer than normal before it slammed into Tacloban as the most destructive storm ever to make landfall. This is a depiction of what we used to think of as the normal distribution of temperatures. The white represent normal temperature days, 1951 to 1980, arbitrarily chosen. The blue are cooler than average days, the red are warmer than average days. But the entire curve has moved to the right in the 1980s, and you'll see in the lower right-hand corner the appearance of statistically significant numbers of extremely hot days. In the 90s, the curve shifted further, and in the last 10 years, you see the extremely hot days are now more numerous than the cooler than average days. In fact, they are 150 times more common on the surface of the Earth than they were just 30 years ago.
What we're going to find is more extremes of weather. Okay, when it rains, it's going to rain heavier. When it's not going to rain, it's going to rain less than it ever didn't rain before. And as these extremes, that's kind of the new normal we're going to have to grow accustomed to. And all evidence points to the fact that it is human-caused influence on the ecosystem.
It's us, Prime Minister. People, human beings, changing our environment. The reason we invest in fossil fuels and energy is because of the money that could be made by selling it to America. We need fossil fuels to energize everything from cars, to heating our homes, to the transportation of goods. Our world is entering a post-oil era. It's time to leave fossil fuels behind us. It's time to invest in the future, Mr. Prime Minister. In North America, producing fossil fuels is expensive, especially in the Alberta tar sands, where extraction is a difficult, expensive, and ultimately environmentally hazardous process. If we want to survive this moment in history, it won't be by doing the same thing. It'll be by adapting and doing something completely different. Not following, Mr. Prime Minister, leading the way. So let's talk now about solutions, Mr. Prime Minister. This is Tesla. You might know them as an electric car company. They're much more than that. Tesla has developed solar panels that look so attractive and appealing, you'd never know they were solar panels unless someone told you. They've also developed batteries which store energy and power a home when daylight is unavailable. These products are made in Tesla's Gigafactory, a massive facility that manufactures advanced technology. This factory is solar powered. In Germany, a company has developed a train that runs on water. It has a hydrogen engine that emits water as a byproduct and not CO2 or toxic gas. Mr. Prime Minister, we can invest in the future today. We can be a leader in green energy and manufacturing. This means jobs and a better future for Canada. Imagine a gigafactory in Saskatchewan. Construction and employment of a facility would create jobs. The sale of goods to Canadians and to countries abroad would be a new source of income. With electric cars, Canadians would save money not spent on gasoline at the pumps. A train powered by water would lower costs on the transportation of goods. This would mean Canadians spending less on shipping. Let's pretend that it's the turn of the century, the 1900s. How did people keep milk cold and food cold? They didn't have refrigerators.
This ice was delivered about twice a week by the icemen. They put it into these domestic ice boxes. The ice went in the top and the food goes in the bottom.
And then along came the refrigerator.
Refrigeration is part of our daily lives. We use it to keep ourselves comfortable, to keep our food fresh, and our beverages cold.
It's the Imperial 121 for 1957.
Would you give up your refrigerator, Mr. Prime Minister, and go back to ice buckets so that we can maintain the jobs of people that worked in the ice bucket chain supply line, whether it be the delivery man dropping off ice or the people that manufacture buckets that keep the ice cold? No, Mr. Prime Minister. If we want to progress as a society, we have to progress and take it to the next level. This is the case with oil right now. Oil is dirty, it's unhealthy, it's disastrous to the environment. The technology for solar power and electric is here. And not only is it here, it's affordable.
When I came to this stage 10 years ago, this is where it was. We have seen a revolutionary breakthrough in the emergence of these exponential curves. And the cost has come down 10% per year for 30 years, and it's continuing to come down.
Mr. Prime Minister, we have to attack climate change right now. I want you to imagine a roll of toilet paper. When we think of the environment, we usually think it's a full roll of toilet paper and we got tons of squares to work with. Mr. Prime Minister, I'm here to tell you, we've got 10 squares left. We have to act like we're running out of toilet paper and we have to find a new roll right now. Mr. Prime Minister, the old roll, the one that's about to run out, that's oil. The new roll that we have to invest in and replace it with, that's green energy. Maybe I don't have all the answers, Mr. Prime Minister. But you know what? Everything starts with an idea. Everything starts with a dream. So let's make that dream come true today. Thank you for your time.